Hello and welcome to Thursday's Look North. First tonight, police have identified the body of a man who was found at a pumping station in North Yorkshire yesterday. The body was discovered at Selby Dam yesterday morning. Investigations are continuing to establish the circumstances around the as-yet unnamed man's death, which is currently being treated as unexplained. Police are appealing for anybody with information to get in touch. A man who died in a crash on the M62 in West Yorkshire was driving a luxury supercar when it overturned, police have confirmed. 20-year-old Shan Hussain from Bradford was driving a black Lamborghini Urus when it crashed between junctions 22 and 23 early on the 21st of December. Mr Hussain's car was the only vehicle involved in the crash, but a 22-year-old female passenger suffered serious injuries and was taken to hospital for treatment. Officers have appealed for witnesses or anyone with footage who could help to get in touch with their investigation. A hate crime investigation has been started by police after a man defecated in the garden of former Yorkshire cricketer Azeem Rafiq. Earlier this month, the ex-bowler told the Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee he'd become a target of abuse since talking about racism at the club. During the hearing, the 31-year-old spoke of a man defecating in his garden and being abused in the street. Police confirmed today they are investigating the incident as racially motivated. A GP surgery in Doncaster accidentally told patients they had aggressive lung cancer instead of wishing them a Merry Christmas. Ascom Medical Practice sent the message to people registered with the surgery on the 23rd of December. The centre has almost 8,000 patients. The text told recipients they had aggressive lung cancer with metastases, a type of secondary malignant growth. It directed patients to fill out a form which allows people with terminal diseases to claim certain benefits. However, about an hour later, people received a second text telling them it was an error and it was meant to wish them a Merry Christmas instead. The surgery said nobody was available for comment. Carl Chegwin is a patient at the surgery and he received one of the messages.
Obviously, that's potentially ruined a lot of people's Christmases, especially those who were actually waiting for news like that. And I believe that there should be some sort of investigation take place, because an error on that scale, especially when I found out how many people that text actually went to, an error on that scale is just completely unexcusable.
A man from Sheffield started a challenge of 4 marathons in 24 hours today. Lee Freeman is running 105 miles around Rother Valley Country Park and will finish tomorrow afternoon. He's aiming to raise £10,000 money for men's mental health charity campaign against living miserably. Lee has gone through his own struggles with his mental health and has lost friends to suicide. This run is in memory of Ross McCarthy, who took his own life during the third lockdown.
People are going to the doctors, they've got mental health problems, they're experiencing suicidal feelings, depressed feelings, anxious feelings. They're simply getting given a packet of tablets and being put on a waiting list. It's not good enough. More needs to be done. They need more support, they need a help, they need peer group. They need to understand that, mental health also needs physical support.
There's a huge amount of stigma surrounding suicide, and it's people like Lee who are helping to smash that stigma, to normalise conversations about it.
Swimming teachers are warning that rising costs could prevent children from learning a life-saving skill. Some private swimming lesson providers say they're being forced to pass on increased bills to their customers and are calling on the government to cut their VAT to bring them into line with school and council-run lessons. Corinne Wheatley has the story.
Right, so move close to the wall so you've got plenty of push-off room.
A weekly swimming class underway in Halifax.
Off you go, push.
Teacher Lauren is helping these children grow more confident in the water.
Off you go.
But providers of swimming lessons like this one say that keeping business afloat is getting harder and harder. As swimming pools grapple with spiralling energy bills, swim schools are paying more for pool hire and say they have no choice but to pass that on to parents. They're worried it'll price some families out.
Pools are struggling themselves and those cost increases to us are coming sort of thick and fast. They're also coming with little to no notice to us, which can be hard.
Especially when you've got more than one child that you want in to do swimming lessons. I mean, everything's going up at the moment. And I've noticed an increase in the swimming lessons as well. It just makes it harder to be able to afford to do swimming lessons, and you've got to kind of compromise with other things as well.
This swim school, Adams Aquatics, operates across Yorkshire. They're backing a call from the Swimming Teachers Association for a cut in VAT.
If we could save those costs somehow by abolishing VAT on the private sector swimming lessons, then the rising costs to us from pool hire, we could absorb some more of those costs.
The Treasury says it recognises the importance of children learning to swim and says VAT is exempt on lessons provided by a local authority or non-profit making body.
Provision in, say, public sector, there's long waiting lists. Families use private sector swimming schools to be able to top up their swimming lessons. And at the moment, the cost of those private swimming lessons, people just can't always afford it. It's starting to become a luxury service.
Meanwhile, there are growing concerns about swimming pools after 3 in Kirklees temporarily closed this winter. Other leisure centres and swimming teachers continue to warn that there are choppy waters ahead. Corinne Wheatley, BBC Look North.
So I wonder if it'll be a good day for a dip tomorrow, Paul, in a swimming pool or otherwise.
Well, not the North Sea at 8 degrees, rather you than me. It's actually going to be very windy. There's rain in the forecast and it stays really unsettled well into the first half of January, believe it or not. So the jet stream's in control. It's a really messy setup. This system will bring more rain at first and again later on New Year's Eve, Saturday. As for Sunday, New Year's Day, if this chart is correct, it's a mixture of sunshine and scattered showers. Now, at the moment, it's still very windy. It's been really windy across some parts, especially the Pennines. Overnight, we may well see some rain clipping into the Yorkshire Dales. Elsewhere, it should become dry with clear spells. Lowest temperatures down to 3 degrees and becoming very windy again, particularly through the morning, as another weather system brings outbreaks of rain in from the southwest, so turning wet and very windy. Some sharp bursts for a time, but then the afternoon transforms itself, really. It turns brighter. There should be some sunshine around, but a risk of a few squally showers, especially across the Yorkshire Dales. But elsewhere, it will become dry, and it's quite mild air despite the strength of the wind. We're looking at highs around 10 or 11 degrees Celsius. So on to the all-important weekend forecast. New Year's Eve, mostly cloudy, some rain at first and again later. If all goes to plan, New Year's Day will be bright with sunshine and scattered showers. Bit of a respite Monday and Tuesday, but then the wind, rain and mild air returns from the middle of next week. That's the forecast.
That's not looking too bad, is it? We'll have some more of that. That's as far as we go for now. I'll be back with a late bulletin along with Paul at 10:25, hopefully stumble-free. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Good night.